I'm not a big fan of body positivity. If you are okay with being overweight, you feel like shit because you're promoting body positivity, that's not okay.
People actually genuinely fear getting fat. I was watching this TikTok of this girl saying how her biggest fear is getting fat and like being big or whatever, and the comments just like, oh my god, like agreeing with her and just saying how they're also scared of being fat.
One piece of advice I could give every single girl in the world, men too I guess, but don't get fat. Like seriously, whatever you're about to eat, question.
Being fat and being insecure that you are fat is just a different type of freaking trauma, bro. Especially as a kid.
The full circle moment of what body positivity and self-acceptance is, I fear, is something that will never be attained or achieved in this current climate, day and age. I am very aware of how polarizing and sort of controversial such a blunt statement could be, but it is true, unfortunately. So who really decided what the ideal body type is, and why are we still allowing this to police our choices, our actions, and our behaviors today? Welcome to the conversation you didn't know you needed. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe right away because I know that you're selective and you don't commit to anything right away, right? But if this feels spot on by the end of this video, then welcome home and hit that subscribe button. And let's be real for a second. The ideal body type has always been restrictive. In the past, the golden token body type was the slim body type, and women did all they could to lose and maintain this weight. And guess what that gave birth to? The popular almond mom.
So their bodies are big and bulky, and they eat like men. I wanted her to develop as a woman.
She's the kind of mother who will work out 7 days out of 7 days in a week, always go to hot yoga sessions even when she's deadly sick, and for dinner would only have like salads, no dressing, maybe 2 tomatoes, and that's it.
Sometimes we have to give up things that we love to do.
These were once young girls though, and I feel like one thing that we fail to acknowledge or speak about when it comes to this discourse is the origin of the almond mom. Where does it actually come from? These young girls who, while being raised at the time by their mothers, their elder sisters, and female figures in their lives, notice the extreme measures that these women took to maintain the way they looked like. It's a habit that has been deeply ingrained within them. You cannot tell them to switch overnight and expect them to do it. The young girls carried this mentality with them in their girlhood period, right to their teenage years, to their 20s, when they got married, and now when they're mothers. You cannot tell them today to stop eating those choking dry ass salads and they would do it. You cannot do it. They wouldn't change immediately. Simply because this wasn't a trend, it was a lifestyle. It's deeply ingrained to the point where the young girls have carried these extreme measures into their own motherhood and they're passing them on to their children. I fully understand completely the desire to want to change your body within the context of wanting to feel and be seen as attractive. I get that 110%. I also get why girls want to take part in challenges like the sunglasses on your waist challenge or the headphones on your waist challenge and mercilessly crush it the way Orlando did. At the same time, I can see why someone would want to only have the girl dinner where it's only like 5 berries on the plate, maybe 2 pieces of chocolate, and that's it. I get that 100%. The reason I understand that is because I too have been raised in the society where the policing of bodies, especially women's bodies, is so normalized and it's so deeply ingrained within us.
Sorry, we only carry sizes 1, 3, and 5. You could try Sears.
He needs to lose 5 to 10 pounds.
They're all fat. The entire room is fat. I'm fat. You're all fat.
I also fear that we have forgotten how complex and how diverse our bodies are, and the fact that we will never be the same or have the same bodies. We will never have the same body types. No two people will ever have the same exact proportions or the same exact structure. So why is it so hard for us to come to terms with the fact that we are just different? And we all realize that we have different facial structures and these different faces Unless you have an identical twin, then you have someone who looks exactly like you. So why is it so hard for us to carry that same mentality when looking at our bodies? Why are we forcing the concept of having identical bodies? That is weird, right? Forcing yourself to look like a Kardashian, I fear, is a rejection of your uniqueness. And if I'm to push it just a little bit, I think it is also a denial of your self-acceptance and the uniqueness that you bring to this world. This video would not be complete without speaking about the infiltration of social media and the opinions we get constantly on social media in this day and age. Remember, I've talked about the past and how obviously body images and like policing of bodies was still a thing. But social media wasn't a thing then. There was no TikTok, there was no Instagram or Snapchat. These current platforms have exacerbated the pressure that we feel on our bodies and have sort of like amplified the opinions we get daily, constant signals and messages about how our bodies should look and what we should do to change and be seen as more attractive. Before, the pressure was sort of cultural, sort of like contained in one region and location, but now it's global. You hear messages about bodies from someone who's like thousands of miles away, but it can still affect you deeply as though that person was right in front of you. Every scroll is a reminder of an edited body, which to some extent is getting really, really good and hard to recognize with the current prevalence of AI in social media.
This brand new app is absolutely terrifying to me, and I want to show you why like all the influencers and YouTubers have been using it. So to start with, watch as I just get rid of my eye bags, as I enhance my skin, add on some makeup, fluff my hair, gently change my face. I can also adjust my body in all sorts of ways, maybe change my hair color. And the thing here is that it doesn't decrease the resolution of the video.
I really am very deeply concerned for the youth who are growing up during this age. Yes, we did have and still do have opinions about our bodies from all angles and all areas. I simply cannot imagine the influence of growing up while you're being bombarded by constant messages and signals on your phone every single minute about who you are and who you should actually be and how your body should actually look like at such a young, impressionable age. It is such a huge toll, and I simply cannot wrap my mind around how the youth of today will be able to navigate this space. I am not saying that people should not work on themselves or try to better themselves. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that you are your own unique person, and there is no one else like you in this world. So you don't need to feel the pressure and to actually force yourself to be someone who you are not, both internally and also physically. You don't need to force yourself to be a mimic or a copy of anyone, because you are beautiful, you already are. As a collective society, unfortunately, the reframing on the mindsets of the society in general on body types and body images and things like cosmetic procedures may not really change that much. But that doesn't mean that your own perspective cannot change. And it is still possible for you to want to work out or for you to want to have something done, but going into it with a different mindset, more of like a healthier mindset of not wanting to completely erase who you are, but to actually enhance your beauty. And this reasoning develops when you have centered self-love and self-acceptance within yourself, where you have fully accepted you as you are, and you don't really want to erase the entire essence of just who you are as a person.
What's your dream physique?
That's a good question. I like how I look right now.
How have you achieved your physique?
By eating.
Something new and interesting that I learned the other day is that cosmetic surgeons actually do take classes on ethnic features and how to preserve those ethnic features while conducting cosmetic surgeries.
Ultimately, I do think it's up to the patient. Now, having said that, we all know some certain stereotypes along with some certain tendencies. So patients are usually very, very open about what they want. And I think the big thing is really, maybe not even ethnic, communication.
So that means that maintaining your uniqueness, if you want to tweak some things about you that you feel will lead to a boost of confidence, It's very much possible. You shouldn't feel the need to change everything about yourself to love and be confident in yourself. Self-improvement is exactly that. It is improvement. It is enhancement. It is not erasure. Now, going back to the beginning of this video, who decided what the perfect body is? Obviously, history and social media have sold us a lie. But today, to choose to embrace your own uniqueness and the power to say no to the idea of a perfect body is the most liberated choice a gorgeous, gorgeous person like yourself can make. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you got to this part, I know you enjoyed the content, or at the very least it resonated with you. So why don't you go ahead and click on that subscribe button and be on the watch out for more topics like this.